In today's video, we're going to be looking at a viewer question asking how to track and replace images and video on iPad. So let's pull up this comment real quick. And thanks to you, me, and World for asking this question. If you have other questions that you would like answered, leave them in the comments below. And is it possible to do on iPad? Yes, it is. So before we get started, this does require access to a keyboard of some kind. Personally, I have a keyboard in front of me, but there are keyboard apps that can be downloaded to another device that will give you access to the command and option key that we need for this tutorial. So to get started, we need to open the keyboard shortcut menu, and to do that, we're going to press Option Command K. That brings up this window, and under Commands in the middle, we see this Application section. We're going to click this drop-down arrow and scroll until we see Workspace. We're going to click that and then go into this other menu and scroll down until we see Show in Workspace. Scroll down again until we find Media Pool. In this example, I have my keyboard shortcut set to Control P. That doesn't overwrite any of the other pre-existing shortcuts. You can change this to whatever you'd like, but for this example, we'll be using Control P. Once you fill that in, you'll click Save. Then we can close out of this and go back to the cut page. Now that we're in the cut page, I have two clips in my timeline already that I grabbed from free stock footage websites. The first example, we're going to add a ball that moves with this guy's finger. So I'm going to select the clip, move to the Color tab, and once you're in the Color tab, we're going to go to Effects in the top right corner, and in the search bar, we're going to type in Match, find the Match Move effect. We're going to click this and drag it over the line on the output of our first serial node until we see the green plus icon. We're going to release the mouse or with your finger. And now we have this set of options in our inspector window. Starting at the beginning of the clip, we're going to make sure we have our Open Effects overlay selected so we can see what we're doing. And we're going to click on the tip of his finger. Since we're at the beginning of the clip, we're going to track forward. And we got a decent track. If not, you can click this reset button, choose another point, track again. See, that wasn't a great track. The first one was fine. So we're going to go back to the tip and track back forward. Now that we have a good track, we can move on to positioning. So this gives us a grid of our image. However, we don't have an image. And there's no way to get an image in that I'm aware of without setting up the shortcut that we previously set up. So let's open our media pool by pressing Control P. That brings up our media pool. I'm going to drag in this basketball and press Control P again just to close that. Now if I connect the green box to the green triangle on the match move, we have this connected, and we still don't see anything because our output under positioning is set to disabled. If we change this to composite, now we can see the basketball. So we can start to position by just grabbing bits of this canvas and place the basketball generally where we want it to be. And you can be as precise as you want with all this. In this example, I'm just trying to get it to a smaller size, and that looks close enough for me. So as you can see, if I zoom in, there's a black background on this basketball, and I don't want that. So these other blue squares on the mat are masking options. So I'm going to select this top one and drag it to the bottom triangle of the match move, and that gets rid of our black. So now we have our basketball, we have our tracking. Now we move to the compositing section. That takes away our overlay, and now we can start back at the beginning and play it. See, the basketball follows the fingertip. Now going into our second example, we're going to do the same thing, This shot has a little bit of movement, a little bit of camera movement. Very subtle, but if we just put an image over this laptop screen, it would be completely off because it's not going to move with the camera and it's going to be obvious that it's not real. So again, we're going to add the match move from our effects. We're going to go to tracking. And in the first clip, we selected one tracking point over the guy's finger. You can select multiple tracking points, and this will give you potentially a better track. So I'm going to select all these corners, and high contrast is always better for tracking. So we have this dark outline of the laptop, and we have the white screen. That's a lot of good contrast. And now with our playhead at the start of the clip, we can track forward. Only takes a couple seconds. And that was a good track. So now we can go to positioning. Again, we don't see anything. So back to our keyboard shortcut, Control P. And we're going to bring in a video this time instead of an image. And Control P again, just to give us a little bit more room to work. And we're going to connect the green box to the green triangle of the match move. Again, under positioning, I'm going to change that to composite so we can see what we're doing. And we actually want the black background on this particular clip, so we're not going to attach any of the blue outputs of the mask. We're just going to line these corners up with our laptop screen. Be as precise as you want, and you can zoom in really far and be super accurate. In this example, I'm not going to waste your time, and I just want to show you generally what the goal is. So after you get it where you like it, switch over to compositing, and you can see that even though there's camera movement, the screen replacement stays with it. You can change blend modes here. If we switch back to our basketball clip, if we didn't want this in the entire time, you can actually go to global blend and keyframe when the ball comes in. So if we started with 0 and we wanted the basketball to fade in, we could change that keyframe, and as we play it back, it appears, and you could have it fade back out or whatever else you want to do. So test out these blue masking options. If for some reason you're not getting the result you want, you can also play with the composite types depending on what you're bringing in, what format the video or image is. But hopefully this was helpful and answered the question that we got. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. And until next time.